What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the You Know Ball Podcast. I am your host, Trill Bro Dude, and so I don't forget, because I have yet to do this yet, let me just plug a few things up top. Number one, if you have not gotten tickets to the live show for You Know Ball live in Philly, there are exactly 17 tickets left. So if you want to go to that show, make sure to get your tickets in the description. And then after that, later in the NBA season, we will be doing our annual trip to New Orleans, part 2, this time for Mardi Gras. We announced it this past week in the Patreon and the Discord. Sam tweeted out a link without telling me. It's fine. And I saw it like 2 days later and I was like, shit, I missed this. But we are officially announcing now that we will be going to New Orleans. We'll be there the whole week of Mardi Gras, which is hold on, am I getting this right? 16th to the 20th, I think.
Yeah, 20th. I thought it was March, which was my bad.
Did I say, hold on, is it March or February?
It's
okay.
February. Yeah.
I should probably have this up.
I was telling my friends March because for some reason I always think Mardi Gras is in March.
Mardi Gras is February.
Yeah, so I got that completely wrong. But February Mardi Gras.
So we will be arriving the week of Mardi Gras, and we will be partying the day of Mardi Gras, which is February 17th. If you would like to come to just the YKB events, they will be a little bit later in the week, which is going to be Thursday for the live podcast. Friday, we will be doing the Sklar Brothers comedy show, which should be a lot of fun. They're hilarious. And then Saturday, we have the Sixers Pelicans. And as always, they're probably going to hook us up again like they did last time, which was a lot of fun. For anyone who didn't get a chance to go, we ended up having a great time. And then after the game, we will be shooting around on the court. So we got a lot of activities planned. If you can come for the whole week, it would be great, because I think we're going to have a few people there at least for the whole week, and that's going to be a ton of fun. We're going to be just kind of exploring New Orleans, really seeing the city this time. And
me who doesn't drink on Bourbon Street during Mardi Gras.
Both of us doing sober Mardi Gras.
Just the most terrified man in America.
Me and Sam are going to be your designated drivers.
Yeah, I was going to say, we'll drive you guys around like it's
BTT
fine.
On Mardi Gras. But no,
my cell sounds like my dad is planning on coming. So if you want to meet my dad.
Is that real? Is that a real?
Yeah.
Let's go. My sister might come. So might be a family event this time.
Family event.
What a fun family event.
Well, I was just going to say, Dad didn't come last time, but the second Mardi Gras in the mix, he's showing up. A little sus. He saw that.
Man. He saw that. Was like, last year was boring as shit. We're gonna turn out this time.
Doing that shit unless I can get dealt in. So,
has he ever been to New Orleans?
No, he's driven through it. He lived in Texas for a while, but he's never been to New Orleans. And I told him, I said, it's my favorite city in America, Pop. You got to go.
Gotta go. So we're doing it big this time. I'm really excited for all of that. And we'll have some other things to announce soon. Not related to live events. We're going to be doing some other streaming related stuff, but let's get on to the topic of the day, which is what everyone came here to see, which is yet another report from Shams Giannis trying to wishcast a Giannis Antetokounmpo trade after, I don't know, at this point, 5 years of knocking on the door?
Yeah,
it feels like we might be getting a little bit closer, at least. Like, I've been very much dismissive of this ever since we got through last season and Giannis didn't ask for a trade in the offseason. I felt like this would have been the perfect opportunity.
This is the year. Yeah.
I felt like it was the perfect opportunity for him to be like, hey, we tried everything we could. You traded for Dame. We have no picks left. Kyle Kuzma's on my team now.
Yeah.
You're lucky I haven't killed myself considering these circumstances. Yeah,
like,
I'm just asking for a trade. That's all. And he still didn't. And what they did was they pulled another rabbit out of their hat, went out and got Miles Turner to try to keep Giannis happy. And we will see what this team looks like. I think in the regular season, both of us are, I wouldn't say high on the Bucks by any means necessary, but I think with Giannis and Turner and competence around them, maybe if Kyle Kuzma is gets like an ankle injury for 2 months or something, that this team could be, middle of the pack in the Eastern Conference. But the question to me, and everything that's come out with this report, which is basically tying him to one team, the New York Knicks, a team that we thought could have been in the race for Giannis had he asked out, which is why we both said we wouldn't have done the Mikal Bridges trade, which basically completely depleted I think literally the night of the Mikal Bridges trade, we said, what if Giannis asks out for a year from now and says, I want to go to the Knicks? And now the Knicks are in a situation where they don't really have any picks. They do have good players that they could shop around the league to potentially get assets to trade to the Bucks in some sort of 3 or 4 team trade. But they also have this massive Mikal Bridges contract, this massive Karl Anthony Towns contract. And I don't think it's going to be quite as easy as if they had never made that trade in the first place. They also just made the conference finals and went to 6 and could have made the finals, might make the finals this year in a wide open East. So it's hard for me to say that trade was like a failure or anything, but this was the reason why we wouldn't have done that trade in the first place, was our argument.
Yeah. And I guess what this boils down to for me, just in terms of like this reporting, is like, what's the Bucks' appetite for holding on to good players, because like, I mean, the Nets literally did this with Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges, where they traded their star player. They were going into a, soft rebuild, but they just took the good players back. And then we're being like, okay, well, we're willing to just make the trade ourselves, or are they going to be like, no, you have to go get the assets and then come back to us for that trade? Now, the difference there, Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson were not young players, but young-ish players. Now the Knicks don't really have a lot of players that young. Like Brunson's older than you think.
Brunson's like 28, 29. Yeah.
Yeah. 28, 29. Cat, again, his contract just makes it like too hard to trade Cat. And he's also, kind of creeping closer to 30. I think he's also similarly 28.
I think he's 30.
Is he 30? Okay.
Jalen Brunson just turned 29, by the way.
Okay. Jalen Brunson just turned 29. Cat's 30. Mikal Bridges is 27.
Mikal Bridges is he's like 28,
27.
Pretty
28.
much all of them are in their prime. That's part of the reason why we like the Knicks going into this next season, and why one of the more underrated parts of their team build last year was that you have all these old teams, you have all these young teams. They were one of the few teams that had a bunch of guys squarely in the middle of their athletic prime, which was a very smart and interesting way to build the team, to be honest.
Yeah. And, my wonder, and I don't know the answer to this, because how realistic a Knicks trade is depends entirely on how willing the Bucks are to take guys back who are 28, 29, 30. And because that's a little bit of a risk, because if nobody wants those guys, you can't hold on to them for 2 years. The value can go out the window pretty quick. That's a shelf life thing.
We just saw with the way that teams are being very hesitant to spend money this past offseason. While all of these players are good, none of them are on quote unquote value contracts. When Mikal Bridges was traded, both times he was on a value contract. When OG Anunoby was traded the first time, he was on a value contract. So when you're looking at the value that these guys could have, they really only have value to the best teams in the NBA, or at least pretty good teams. I don't think a rebuilding team is dying to get OG Anunoby, but if he could be a final piece for a team similar to the way that he was for the Knicks, then there could be a trade out there that maybe the Bucks take back some bad salary and get some extra picks, similar to what the Grizzlies just did in the Desmond Bane KCP swap.
I think, for example, I think the Lakers would be really interested in some of these guys. They have some assets. They've got some of their own picks.
They have more than you think, because they kind of told LeBron to fuck off the last few years, and they only gave up 1 pick in the Luka trade, remember? So that's the most wild part of that. But the one thing about the Lakers is now this, if something like this were to happen, it would really test how married they are to their cope space plan. as I called it on the last episode, which is, they want to keep the quote unquote flexibility for the next year or two. Okay, well, does that change if a player that is like a legit championship level player becomes available, like OG, and you can send out expiring salary with picks? But then again, like if you're trading Giannis, because keep in mind, Giannis only has he really has he has 2 years left on his contract. But a year from now, because I don't think this trade is going to happen now. I don't think it's going to happen at this deadline. No, Giannis did. I don't know if you saw the quotes.
No.
The only reason why I'm saying that the door has been cracked, I'm still skeptical that Giannis will, not just end his career with the Bucks, because he's held on this long. And at this point, you've already won a title. You really have nothing to prove. You can only really resume stat pad from this point on, where like, right now, Giannis is very clearly one of the 20, 25 best players of all time. I mean, if you put his resume up against some of these other guys, I mean, there's an argument that he could be even higher, top 15.
Yeah.
The thing that you could say about Giannis and why he would want to make a move to a Knicks team or whoever is because then he puts himself in a different conversation. Like if he goes to the Knicks and wins a championship, if he goes to the Rockets and wins a championship, then he's in this tier that is like, he's like knocking on the door of the top 10 greatest players of all time. When you consider how long he's been like a MVP level player, combined with the fact that he won a championship for the Bucks, not on his own, but not a super deep team by any means.
Yeah.
Like I think Middleton was a very good second option, and then Drew, outside of the playoffs, I mean, on offense, was a serviceable third option, and then it was basically a bunch of guys, which is something that we're not really seeing all that often anymore. That my whole thing with this is like the fact that Giannis said in his quote, which was, "I'm committed to this team right now. I'm locked in. This is where I want to be. But if I change my mind 6 months from now, you guys basically have to understand that I'm human." That's essentially what he said. And that's the only reason why I'm even entertaining any sort of report like this, is because the seeds have been planted, right? Like the consent has been manufactured, and he didn't even have to do this, to be clear, because Giannis has every right to ask out. He has every right to do whatever the fuck he wants, because he's already brought them a championship. He's won multiple MVPs with them. He's stuck by them longer than most superstars would stick by them. But there's also just this part of me that thinks that Giannis doesn't really care as much about this other stuff as most of like the legacy guys care, right? Like there's a part of me that's just like, he's stuck on for this long. Like, why not just ride it out? Like that's my whole thing is like, I feel like while he has changed his tune a little bit in the last year or two, it's just starting to feel to me like how good do the Bucks have to be for him to be like, you know what, I'm just staying, my career's done here? Because like there's no pathway for them to win a championship. There's a pathway for them to win 45, 50 games and win a series. Is that good enough? Or do they have to make the conference finals, the finals, or win the title? Because I don't see any of that in their future, even in this Eastern Conference.
No. I mean, if they can't, like if you can't win a playoff series this year, I mean, I think it's kind of over. Like, yeah, like when is the East going to be worse than this?
This is the worst the East has been since, I would say this is probably the worst the East has been since LeBron's last year, or maybe the year even before that with the Cavs, where it was just like there was very clearly one championship level team. Yeah. Right now, I think I could see two teams out of the East being good enough to win the championship, which is the Knicks and the Cavs.
Yeah.
I have a hard time seeing anyone else being. No, I could see a team making the finals. I could see the Magic making the finals. I don't think I could see Atlanta making the finals, but I could see Atlanta being a very plucky playoff team that could make the conference finals. I have a harder time envisioning them making the NBA finals. I know that you're schizophrenic about the Hawks, but you and Zach Lowe have been completely cacaw-filled. But I just look at this. Once again, I look at this East, and like to me, I just think that they very clearly have to be a team for him to not for him to ask out in the middle of the season has to be a complete disaster. Like it basically has to be like they're like in the play-in and like no hope of winning a first round series. And that's the scenario where he might ask out at the deadline. Maybe.
Well, and I think that's kind of impossible because I think for that to happen, he would need to be injured. And then it's like, why is he asking out? Like, you know, like, so I really don't think like it's totally possible he asks for a trade next offseason, but I just don't think it's, I don't think it's happening this year.
You could never trade an injured superstar halfway through the season in the middle of the night.
No, who would do that?
We could never have that happen. The difference here being that the Bucks would never trade Giannis. Giannis is their guy. They're only doing it if Giannis is saying a year from now. Like I think if it ever happens, it will happen. I literally just said it should have been this last offseason. But the only reason I'm keeping the door open is these latest comments. And I think it would happen next offseason when it's easier to trade him because of cap space opening up. They can send money to other teams.
Yeah.
And then 2, like, are the Knicks really desperate enough to trade for Giannis in the middle of the season?
They're not going to. Well, if I were the Knicks, I would just check it out. I mean, look, it's Giannis. Like, I think if you do
I get
Giannis,
it, but like how many, but I understand. Yeah. I get it. We see this all the time though, where you just change your team so drastically in the middle of the season, and it's like impossible to go on and win a championship.
Oh yeah. In
the
middle of the season,
it's just so hard. Like I do think that like at a certain point talent wins out, but I think the last time that we had one of the 2 best players even make the finals was the Pau Gasol trade. And if you want to go back even further, you probably have to go back to Clyde Drexler in the 90s for a team that won the championship. And once again, now I understand Giannis is a different caliber of player. I get that. It's also not going to be easy from day one figuring this out. We've already seen Giannis not work great with a ball dominant small guard in Dame. Now Brunson right now is better than that version of Dame. I'm not saying he isn't, but it's not, there's going to be things to work out. Like the Knicks, if they made this trade, would have to sacrifice some depth in order to do it. And then on top of that, they'd have to figure it out on the fly. And like, you might be good enough to win the East because the East just might be that weak this year. But to me, it's just hard to see a team winning a championship. And I think it would happen a year from now, as opposed to, at the deadline.
Giannis is not a Kevin Durant style, like, fits into any context player, like,
no, you're building around him.
He's much closer to LeBron, where you kind of have to run everything through him and everything kind of needs to be built around him. So
right. He's good enough to do that, but also it's going to take some time to figure out is the point here. Like, I do think that there is like, and even, we fucking saw Kevin Durant get traded in the middle of the season. Now that team wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
And Durant was at a different stage of his career, but the point remains here that like the team that has 8 months with the level of talent that we have in the NBA now and the way that teams are being built, the team that has 8 months to figure it out is like we just saw with the Pacers last year. The Pacers were mid as shit to start the year. And then by the end of the season, they got healthy. They figured it out. They became incredibly synergistic. And they made this run to the NBA Finals. They could have possibly won the NBA Finals. By the way, against another team that had a whole season to figure it out. The year before, your Celtics won. They had a whole year to figure it out. Like, I do think that it is in the best interest of both Giannis, the Bucks, and the Knicks to just say, let's revisit this next offseason.
Yeah,
if it is anything, if this is even possibly close to real, we should revisit it next offseason because it's going to be easier to do. We'll have a better idea of what this team looks like. And the thing that when we had Noah on, when we talked about this, the thing I've been thinking the whole time, because the obvious way to make this trade happen is getting a 3rd or 4th team involved, move some money around, send some picks, whatever, because the Knicks just don't have the same amount that even a team like Houston, like if Houston got involved,
they don't have the stuff a rebuilding team is going to want.
Exactly. Yeah. Because like if you're trading Giannis, even though you don't have your picks in most years, like you're still going to be going somewhat into the shitter and probably looking at it as more of a long-term thing.
Miles Turner becomes your best player.
I mean, yes, unless you took Karl Anthony Towns back in a trade. That's basically the one scenario where, and like, what does that really do for you is the point. And
We saw Cat be the best player on some dog shit Wolves teams for a long time.
And if Giannis ever asks out, it will be, he will get to basically pick where he wants to go.
Yes.
Because he will have if it's next offseason, he has 1 year left before he has a player option. So he could dictate some terms at least. I still think that if the Bucks were to ever trade him, they would get a haul and all this. But I do think that him being the only way that goes away is if he signs an extension sometime in the next year. And until then, this cloud's just going to hover over. Anytime the Bucks go on a 4-game losing streak or a 3-game losing streak, or Giannis sprains his ankle or whatever, this will keep popping up. But I actually think what is more likely is that this is the year where the Bucks' whole goal is to get Giannis. Someone, I think it was a Bucks fan in the Discord brought this up a few months ago, which was the whole goal of this season should just be getting Giannis another MVP, basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
spoiler alert for later in this episode.
No, that's I wanted to talk about it. I was going to transition into our unless you had something else to say about this, which
no.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to heavily influence one of my picks for this segment coming up.
Because Giannis winning MVP, if you know that you can't win a championship, the second best thing you can do is get Giannis his third MVP, join this class. And by the way, MVP is so far apart too. It's very rare that we have MVPs, guys who it's really only the elite of the elite class that have these, in their 30s MVPs years after what is considered their prime, like when Giannis won his first 2 MVPs. And I still think he's a similar level player, and honestly better in some elements. I don't think the defense is quite as good as it used to be, but I do the better shooter. I think he's a better passer and decision maker now. Yeah. I do think that there are elements of Giannis's game that have gotten better as he's gotten older. And I just want to the class of that player. It's basically did LeBron even have an MVP in his 30s? I don't think he did.
I don't think he did.
No, because he kind of stopped caring about the regular season starting in his 30s, really. And then the 1 year he could have won, he got injured.
Year. Yeah, I was going to say there was a Cavs
No, it wasn't a Cavs year because everyone was he just takes off the regular season. It was the Lakers year when he was the front runner for MVP after they won the title in the bubble.
Okay.
That they were that I know this because it was Embiid, Jokic, and LeBron were the 3 guys going head to head.
I never considered that real, but I understand why other people did. So,
but it was mainly due to the fact that we just couldn't believe that Jokic and Embiid were that good yet. We were they're very good, but we didn't think of that. Everyone thought of LeBron. I literally had tweets from that tweeting out that they were manufacturing consent from that run. I remember it was a special time. It was honestly before Jokic even established himself as the clear MVP. And one of Embiid or LeBron probably would have won that season had they not gotten injured, but they both got injured that season. And part of that was probably due to the fact that people still didn't fully believe in Jokic. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that I honestly don't know many. It's probably Jordan. Kareem might have won an MVP in his 30s. I know the oldest first-time MVP ever was Karl Malone, and then number 2 was Steve Nash, if I remember correctly, and they both were in their 30s. So Giannis would be joining a very unique club if he were to win his 3rd MVP years after winning his 1st and 2nd MVP. And in the middle of that run, also winning a title and coming in 2nd and 3rd for MVP multiple times during that run as well.
Kareem won it at age 32 when he was 79-80 season.
After he forced a trade from the Bucks.
No, well, he did. He was 28 when he forced the trade from the Bucks, though.
Yeah,
that was one of his MVPs.
It was a few years after. Yeah, I was gonna say.
So 6 MVPs, dude. That's so fucking insane.
Well, all right. So 2 things about Kareem's, because people will say, I think Giannis is the best Buck of all time. Kareem is the better player, but Kareem, we think of Kareem as with the Lakers. He is, even though he won a championship and I think 3 MVPs with the Bucks, if I remember correctly.
3. Yep. Won
3 MVPs. Okay.
Yeah. 3 with the Bucks, 3 with
First off, that would tie him on MVPs with the Bucks. same amount of championships because Kareem
Yep.
only won one championship with the Bucks before he forced the trade to the Lakers. And most people just think about Kareem because it's just like the iconic, in the finals, skyhook, even though Magic at one point passed him on those teams. But the thing that I'm trying to get at here is that Kareem was just very clearly the best player in the NBA. Like there wasn't really an argument. Like he had a stretch where the rest of the league was like relatively weak compared to him, and he just dominated for all of those years. And he does have a really good GOAT case, to be honest. Like that's why most people just put him 3 on their list.
Dude, he was his rookie year, he finished 3rd in MVP voting.
Yeah,
that's
crazy. He was insane. Also, keep in mind, he came into the league, he was 21. I'm
22,
assuming, 21, 22. They had to stay in college back then. You literally, it was against the rules. The craziest thing, one of my favorite things to go back in time, what?
I'm realizing, what do you think is the lowest amount of games he ever played in the season? Like the fewest
it's like 78, right?
It's so 62. He only played 62, but he played more. He played 80 games or more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, he was an Iron Man.
11. But 11 times he finished. Yeah, he has like almost 20 years of more than 75 games. That's fucking insane.
Yeah, he was an Iron Man, and also keep in mind the pace of the game was just so. Yeah, and especially with like his whole thing was just being like sort of ground bound. Well, I guess earlier in his career he probably wasn't, but I just think of later Kareem. I'm not like a historian on basketball. Okay. I'm sure someone will yell at me for that comment.
Can I one other insane Kareem stat? Okay, how many times do you think he missed the All-Star game?
Once.
Yeah, it's correct. It was once. That year he finished 4th in MVP voting.
He just got injured?
He just got injured. It was that year he only played 62 games. So it must have been the front half of the year. His age 30 season was the only time. He was an MVP every year from age 31 to 40, or sorry, an all-star from age 31 to age 41.
Yeah. I mean, he was
like, this is the most insane fucking, like LeBron's is crazy. Kareem might have a crazier fucking Basketball Reference page.
Well, Bill got really mad because a year and a half, 2 years ago, people were like, can people stop saying we've never seen a 40-year-old like this before? Because I saw Kareem. I saw him. And now LeBron's 42. So it's like, yeah, there's really no argument.
Will LeBron make the All-Star game this year? I mean, I guess voting.
LeBron will make it.
I guess there's voting, but
it was borderline last year. Like,
yeah,
we shoot him in just because he's LeBron. Yeah. But like, the first half of last season, LeBron was not one of the top 10 players in the NBA. Like it took him some time to get going. And like by the end of the season, he was in that like 12, 15, like he was a clear, like 3rd team all NBA level talent, but like the wheels are definitely starting to come off to the point where he's expanding his portfolio and taking on Hennessy sponsorships.
That was crazy.
No, it wasn't. It was the most obvious thing. The second he announced it, I was like, yeah, no, this is an ad. Everyone in unison was like, this is not him retiring. This is an ad. And also, I mean, it is absurd because we just talked about recently with like the Taylor Swift stuff and the Saudi Arabian Comedy Festival. The mask is just off. Billionaires and rich people are just totally shameless now. Yeah. It doesn't matter anymore. Nothing matters. There's no one to hold anyone in check. No one calls anyone out for this shit. And it's just like Taylor Swift can release 10 of the same albums.
It's not that nobody gets called out. It's that like getting called out doesn't matter anymore. It's just a bunch of little people like us calling people out.
We're just shouting up at the mountain.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're just peasants down fucking tilling the field. Like we get on the mountaintop, they can throw their fucking lightning bolts down from Olympus and smite us at any point in time.
It is dystopian just to see how shameless it has become I just keep saying it. Over and over again, and I'll say it every time. And it's like, look, there are worse people than the entertainers.
Yeah, for sure.
Like we know people that are, whether it's in politics or business or whatever, that are even more shameless and disgusting. But at a certain point, how much fucking money do you need? Like, like it is unfathomable to me that it just never the appetite will never be satisfied. You just have to keep the only goal in life anymore is just to rack up points in your bank account and nothing else matters.
We should so here's my pitch as a leftist. This is my socialist, pitch on this. I'm not a Maoist, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that we like violence is the answer. I think we do Star Trek holodeck like fake like Truman Show style things for rich people, and we just tell them they're making money. Like after a certain point, they just get taxed, and their money just stays the same because they get taxed at like you could tax them at like a fucking whatever insane rate, and it would just stay the same because of the thing. But just tell them they're making money. Just show them like a chart, like you do to like a toddler, like and they clap like the jangling keys. Just show them a chart going up with
video
their money.
Game.
Yeah, they will never know. They will never know that they're not making that money because their life will be the same no matter what. We should just do that.
Perfect.
I think it's a perfect plan. Just we need a Truman Show for like rich people where we're like inventing fake, like just tell them that they're making more money and nothing about their life will change. They keep doing everything else the exact same way. Nothing will change about their lives. They have $10 billion instead of 60. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna get our first trillionaire soon. Aren't you excited?
Yeah, it couldn't happen to a better guy too.
Yeah. We really do reward the best people in our society.
Yeah. He's definitely earned it.
Yeah. Hey, at least Taylor Swift and LeBron have obviously it's off the back of their labor mostly.
Yeah.
Now
look, do something.
I was going to say it's at a certain point, it just gets to an absurd level, but at least they are providing something. Like I don't even know what the fuck he does. I don't know what Musk does.
I've never seen LeBron use Bronny as a human shield the way this other guy has used his son as a human shield. So,
but no, just last thing on the Giannis thing. I want to put a bow on that. The thing that the Bucks could do is they could basically get him that third MVP this year, and then, like we said, he's in that conversation with Kareem. Like he's already the best Buck ever in my mind because he's just been a Buck for so long and he's done so much for the franchise and whatever. The only other thing that can really make him go up a level in people's minds in terms of legacy is winning that MVP, unless he can get to another team and win a championship, because I just don't see it happening with the Bucks. But I do think if I were listing off the candidates for MVP, I wrote down, so for this segment, we'll transition into that. For this segment, I want to talk about the players that we think can realistically win MVP. Like, we'll have guys that are long shots. Like, I have a few guys that are like, I think it's the second straight year I've had multiple of these guys on my long shot list, to be honest with you. Sure. I have a hard time seeing it because I just don't think that they're this caliber of player, at least for most of them at all, and some of them at least yet. It might take some time if they do ever get there. But I had 7 players I thought could realistically win MVP this year. Do you want to hear who they are?
Let's hear them.
All right. Number 7 I had was Jalen Brunson.
Okay.
Just feel like if the Knicks win 55 games, they're the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Brunson has the narrative. He has the fact that like everyone sees him as a clear top 10 or 12 player in the NBA. It's hard to crack that top group, which is why it's hard for me to actually see this happening without some sort of like crazy injury to the true top guys in this. But I think that Brunson, like he's already finished 4th in MVP before, I think 2 years ago. And I just feel like he has everything in his corner. New coach, all of his friends there. This team is better and a little bit deeper than the past few Knicks teams. Although Ariel Hawani on Bill's podcast was going a little bit insane, saying that they were 11 deep. And his reasoning for saying they were 11 deep, hold on, you'll love this, was Yabu, who I think will be a nice bench piece for them, who they added.
Top
That's their
100 player.
Yeah, clearly. That's their 7th man. And then he said Jordan Clarkson, who I watched in the Abu Dhabi games. He will very soon be added to the montage of wash players in a Knicks jersey. Not that he's even close to that level of player, but it's looking grim for Jordan Clarkson.
I'm glad he got a chance to see what it's like to play in Abu Dhabi. I'll just say that.
They just got a EuroLeague team. He might know soon.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So Jordan Clarkson was one of the reasons, and then the other 2 reasons that they were super deep was Malcolm Brogdon is their 9th man, who, by the way, doesn't even have a guaranteed contract right now. He is a training camp deal. And then Garrison Matthews, who he didn't remember his full name. Garrison Matthews, who also has a training camp deal, not a fully guaranteed deal. So that's why they're super deep. I do think that they're a little bit deeper. Like adding Yabu gives them like a formidable bench 4-5, and now that Mitchell Robinson's healthy, Josh Hart will be coming off the bench, and like
Tibbs isn't there, they won't play exclusively 7 guys at all times. So
and so they might be able to run 8 or 9 deep next year for sure if one of those other guys on the fringes, with Matthews or Shamed or whoever is kind of proves to be playable, whoever makes the roster out of those guys. I don't know if you heard about this, but they're trying to salary dump Pacome Dadier already because he is basically, they only have 1 roster spot and they have Shamet, Brogdon, and Garrison Matthews. So they need to open up a roster spot to get one of those guys. So they're trying to trade Tyler Kolek, and Pacome Dadier in the coming weeks. You want him on the Celtics?
Too bad the Celtics. Well, can't be that much money. Both those guys were at the end of the first, early second. So
and Dadier, remember, negotiated the scam contract because they wanted to save money.
Bring me Pacome. I liked Pacome Dadier. I mean, he probably sucks, but like, fuck it. Yeah. I don't care. Like, let me see it. Let me see him suck, and then I'll decide from there.
Yeah. Why not? So Jake is saying will probably be Brogdon along with one of Shamet or Matthews. They would have to salary dump Dadier in that, or Kolek in that scenario where they're opening up another roster spot. Brogdon will probably make the roster. I think he'll be more of like a deeper bench guard for them, which is fine. I mean, you can't rely on Brogdon for health reasons anyway. Sure. But the thing that I just think is that like Brunson's very clearly their best guard, like by a mile on this team, their best ball handler. He's going to get a ton of opportunities. Obviously he's their best player and has given enough trust to this team to just let him, like, he might just average like 30 points a game this year. Like, seriously, if he averages 30 points a game on decent efficiency, like he'll be in the conversation. The Knicks will, at a minimum, he's finishing top 4 in MVP this year if that happens. Well,
you also didn't talk about the other implication.
What's that?
Which is it doubles as a pump and dump scheme if they are looking at Giannis. And
that was the thing I wanted to talk about in the Giannis conversation that I forgot to bring up, was when we had Noah on, we talked about the Etu Brute stabbing him in the back. Could this be, because really Giannis with that team is kind of like not a perfect fit, because like I still think they would need a little bit more creation, and also
Cat's a great front court partner for him
for sure. Yeah, and then like you just play massive with Bridges at the 2 and OG at the 3. They would probably need Miles. I mean, I like Deuce McBride. I don't know if he's quite that level, if they were able to even keep Deuce McBride in a trade like that, to be honest with you. But because I think you could do Brunson, Hart, and Mitchell Robinson, but then your depth is like, you're really leaning in on your starting 5. It's complicated, but either way, that's the long shot thing that I don't think will happen, because the Brunson like already took the scam deal. He's their guy, but I do think it's at least worth mentioning. Like I think that might be the trade that helps them keep their depth and like still keeps them good enough to potentially win the championship.
If I'm the Knicks front office, I'm talking to the coaching staff and I'm like, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if Jalen Brunson had a massive fucking year and he shot 30 times a game. I would tell my coaching staff that. I would be like, look, we're obviously trying to win. That's obviously the priority, obviously. However, if you have to lean a certain direction toward giving a guy a lot of touches, a lot of having a big year, I would lean away from Cat and maybe towards Jalen Brunson a little
I
bit.
was going to say that you would get bad cosmic karma for this, but we do live in the Satan timeline. And the
Yeah,
only
no.
thing that is, as we just said, greed and winning is the only thing that is ever rewarded in our society. And that would instantly be rewarded with a championship for the
Celtics. The Celtics stabbed Isaiah Thomas in the face and then immediately got Jason Tatum. So like it doesn't matter, unfortunately. Like
yeah, the only good karma championship we have recently is OKC, who traded away Josh Giddey and then won a championship.
And even that, I don't know that I don't like that OKC suppresses the personalities of their players. That they don't let the guys don't feel comfortable being themselves in Oklahoma City.
What do you mean?
I mean, you have two of their four best players don't talk in their natural voice.
What do you mean?
Have you ever heard Shea talk like not at a podium?
No.
He has a Canadian accent. He has like a very thick Canadian accent.
You think that Presti's making the calling the shots?
I think he feels pressure to do that because he knows how they feel about foreign-born players.
That's
Oklahoma.
Sam is talking about his Charlie XCX right now, living rent-free in his mind.
No. And then their fourth best player, Chet Holmgren, also doesn't feel comfortable.
Talking like James Franco in Spring Breakers.
Yeah. What do you call Chet? Because I feel like poor Aquafina gets like a hard time, but like Chet talks like that way more than she does.
Well, do you follow that? Have you seen that guy on TikTok who does the accent breakdowns?
No.
Oh, I love that guy. I think he's from Jersey. I think he's from South Jersey, but he's this dude that does breakdowns on people's accents. We'd have to have him do one on Chet Holmgren.
He's got to do one on Chet
because he did one on Aquafina, and he did one on, and he talked about how like the accent. Like first off, Aquafina, as we talked about, she's from Queens.
Yeah,
that's her show was called Aquafina from Queens. And he breaks it down and he's like, but she's doing an accent that sounds like someone from the South. Like that is like, because in the popular culture, like when you think about like the black accent, it is closer to like Atlanta than it is to New York. And as we've joked about before, everyone from New York sounds a little bit Italian. Yeah. He literally did a thing. He did a video where he talked about that parts of the way that they speak is like Italian American English. And how they speak is literally influenced by that. And so he was basically breaking down the fact that but Chet's from Minnesota. Like he 100% does the same thing. Like it is just imitating what he saw in popular culture.
We need one of those on Detlef Shrimp, because Detlef like
or Zubac
it's fascinating. Like
Zubac is the same way.
Accent. Yeah.
We talked about that before when he went on Paul George's podcast, and we were like, why does he sound like? We're like, oh, that actually makes it
makes
sense. Sense when you think about it. Yeah. But all right. So Brunson's 7 for me on the MVP list. 6 I had was Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
Minnesota. I mean, Minnesota, if they're a top 3 seed and I think they'd probably have to be the 1 or 2 seed just because this is a really strong list of candidates for MVP, and he still is trying to crack that top group.
It's just, I think the hard thing with Anthony Edwards is like he and Luka Doncic are in like kind of similar situations.
I had Luka next. Yeah.
Luka's like more established. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like as
he's
like
been like in the top for MVP before. He's took a team to the finals. He plays for the Lakers. Like he has a lot of things.
He just has so much more going for him, you know, like, and you know, like I will say this, Ant is more charismatic, which definitely helps, you know, like I think.
American, if there is, I mean, we haven't, who is the last American MVP? James Harden.
Yeah. Right. So
yeah, we have it. Like, if I will say, Ant might get the bumps because of a few of the personality bump, the American bump. They're definitely dying to give it to an American player, and they haven't in quite some time. Brunson or Anthony Edwards would be the first to get one since James Harden, and I believe that was 2018 was the last time we had an American MVP. So that was but Ant definitely has a chance if they're one of the 2 or 3 best teams in the West, especially if he just takes like a massive playmaking leap, like I talked about on the last episode, where it's like, hey, Mike Conley's washed now and Rob Dillingham is not close enough to be a lead playmaker. We need you to get like 7 assists per game. And then Ant is averaging like 29 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds or 6 rebounds, however many rebounds he averages a game on, like 60 true shooting, and he's just like awesome on defense, and they're one of the best teams in the NBA.
I was just gonna, so that was the other piece I was gonna say, like, because I agree with you that like this is like the right spot for him. Like he's in like that long shot zone.
My 2 long shot guys.
Yeah, you have to mention him, but I think the reason it's like probably never gonna happen is I just don't think the Wolves are ever gonna be good enough for this to be like realistic. You know what I'm saying? Like they would have.
I think they could be, to be honest. Like the more I
look, win like 58 games, dude. And I just don't think it's possible in the West.
I don't think it's impossible though, because the more that I look at their team, the more I'm like, I know that they keep in mind they do this every time they make a big trade. They're kind of mid the first year, and then the second year that after the Rudy trade, they were the 1 seed the next year. Then they were kind of middling last year, but played well in the playoffs, got a ton of injury luck, and made it to the conference finals. And now they have a full year to flesh this out. They have a bunch of young players who in theory could take steps forward. And like, they really only lost Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And like, Nikhil's a good player, but he's not changing your win total all that much. Like, he was a 7th man for them. And I just look at this team and I go, with like, and I do think the West is good, but I don't think that it's impossible that they win mid 50s, somewhere in there. And that's what he needs to be a candidate, at least. And I think he'll very clearly finish. If he stays healthy, he'll finish top 5 or 6 in MVP.
I just think like he's already drawing parallels against Luka. And I think at minimum, they've got to be cleanly better than Oklahoma City. And I don't think that's,
he's definitely more available than Luka, right? Like, because Luka has to hit that 65 game mark. And
that's true.
And I don't know if Luka has hit 65 game mark the last 2 years.
No,
I'm not sure if he has, because keep in mind, you have to hit that just to be eligible. You're automatically ineligible. And so he played, so he did play 70. He played 66, 70, and then last year he played like 50. So he's got to play 65 to 70 games to even be in the conversation. Ant definitely has been a little bit more available than him over the last few years. Ant, if I remember correctly, I think Ant's low key kind of an Iron Man. That might just be me.
No, I think you're right. I know. I don't think he's
played 79, 79, 79.
Yeah. Pretty good.
And never had, knock on wood, never had a major injury. So up until this point, he's definitely just kind of by default has to be included in this conversation
for sure. Honestly, just being available makes you, the fact if you play a lot of games, you just that was kind of my Jason Tatum. He's kind of got a Jason Tatum style like argument. I think his scoring is more visible, and I think that like he'll definitely be more popular in general. But I think for him to win the MVP, it would take a similar blend of things going on that we have talked about with Jason Tatum in past years when we've talked about Jason Tatum's MVP odds.
Yeah. So Ant's also only 24 still. So it's one of those things where it's like, he's kind of just starting to come into his prime now, like similar to Tatum, he overachieved young in his career. So and obviously Luka did as well. I had Luka next on my list. I probably should have swapped him and Wemby, to be honest with you, because the Lakers shine, the Luka narrative, the fact that Luka is always top near the odds in MVP going into every single season. I have him 5. It probably should be higher. But
the Lakers
Lakers bump's big, but the availability thing is like you have to play. And
You do have to do that, yeah.
I think you have to hit that. And like he probably, if he wants to win and not just make all NBA, win MVP, he probably has to play closer to 70 to 75 games. And that is that when you're, picking nits with this stuff, it has to be something like that. And the one thing that Luka's always had working against him that these other top tier MVP guys that I'm about to list off haven't had, well, especially the top three, his on-off swings have never been that crazy. Like, it's always like his team's pretty decent when he doesn't play in the regular season. In the playoffs, it's a different story. Like, Luka's one of the most impactful playoff players that we've seen the last handful of years. But in the regular season, his teams have always survived without him and even been better in some seasons. So like I talked about it with like, someone brought up like, oh man, they're going to be, the Bucks they have their pick next year. So they're going to be tanking once they trade Giannis. And I was like, no, I don't really think that you can do that because Giannis is too good in the regular season and genuinely gives a shit every single night. Now, maybe this is a different Luka. Maybe he's locked in and whatever, but Luka getting traded last season and then them getting flagged is just like a different story. One, they jumped up a ton in odds. Like the odds of that happening again are very low. And then two, even with Luka, like I think they were pretty good, not great, if I remember correctly. So I think that Luka's got to have one of those seasons where like, it's like the narrative, the fact that he is playing at that same level that he usually plays at, and then also the impact metrics are just like off the chart, so he wins over everyone across the board here, and then he gets the Lakers bump. So he probably should be at 4, to be honest. I had Wemby at 4. I don't know if you saw this, but they listed Wemby at 7.5.
I saw like people sleuthing out if he grew. Like
he did.
Do you remember this? Giannis had this too.
Mm-hmm.
You remember this?
With Giannis went from 6'9" to 7 foot. Wemby went from 7'3" to 7'5". And by the way, the Spurs, they update their like heights. And they made Harrison Barnes an inch shorter than he was listed last year. So it's like they're trying to be as accurate as possible. So I don't think they're juicing his numbers. If you look at photos from his rookie year versus now, he genuinely does look taller, like when he's standing next to other players. And they were playing some foreign team. I can't remember which country they were playing in preseason, but he looked stronger. He was driving and they had him like in the post more. And I was like, yeah, this could be it. This could be the thing we've been waiting for that I've kind of been discussing this whole off season, which is like when these all-time top 10, top 15 players get into their third year, they take that physical leap, they take that gigantic production leap, and then he just like destroys the league and, becomes an MVP level player.
I'm doing the Antonio Banderas. I'm thanking God. Can you imagine if they were like even a normal front office, like if they weren't the most dog shit front office like we have in the NBA? Like
I still think he's going to be able to overcome it in the regular season.
I think he will, but I'm just saying, like, imagine if they were competent, dude. Like we'd be like, fuck. Like the league would be over for like.
I mean, if they had the old Spurs front office when they drafted Manu and Tony Parker and I mean,
tune out for 10 years. It's like the KD trade all over again.
Yeah, I was going to say the thing I will say with Wemby is that like him being as good as he's going to be is probably going to give them such a massive margin for error that like they're still going to get their window because they even though we both didn't understand the Fox extension and all of the mess that they've kind of made for themselves, he's just like still not even close to his physical prime. And like, it's scary to think that if he can stay healthy, what he can become as a player, because he's not only grown, but like he just looks better every single time you see him. And this is the kind of leap where like he ends up second or third in MVP voting, even if they're the 7 or 9 seed in the West or whatever. Like, I think we'll talk about that more next week, but I think when I mapped it out, I had them as the 8 seed, and that's mainly just due to him.
I think because I think everyone's like a little slow I think he'll be playing at an MVP level by the end of this year, but it like will not quite you know what I'm saying? I think everyone needs to be kind of primed.
He started slow every year of his career, and he's coming off this like the longest period of him not playing basketball, because remember, he had the Olympics.
Right.
So then he went straight into the NBA, like the blood clot, then into not playing like actual basketball for months. He'll probably take him a little bit to get going for sure. But once he does get going, I do think that he's going to be very clearly in this candidate of three or
I'll
five
probably
guys.
Jumping ahead, I'm probably going to pick him next year for MVP. I just think this year is a little like early. I just don't think this is very much a media driven award. Yeah. And it like we've done very well at this exercise year in, year out.
It's almost always someone who finished second or third the year before, but wasn't quite ready to get there yet.
Yeah.
Like that is like every single year. I think the last time we didn't have that was Jokic, and Jokic had such a weird, and to be fair, that was before we did this, but
yeah,
the last time that we had someone that made this kind of leap, because like Shea was the runner up for MVP, we were like, he's the obvious pick. Jokic, Embiid, all those guys. Going back to the Jokic pick, it was such a unique scenario because he made this leap in the bubble, and like we've never had a circumstance like that before where he made this leap in a environment that we had never seen before in the middle of the season, basically.
Yeah.
And the voters from the previous season couldn't really catch up to that. And like the nerds and the calculator rats were telling us for years how good he was based on all of these analytics, but the general consensus with the media was not bad at that point. And I do think that Wemby is probably a year away, but it is certainly should be very high on this list.
It's definitely like it does kind of feel like fuck, man. like it does kind of feel like we're on the boat at the beginning.
It's coming down the pike,
Ryan. Yeah, like we're on the D-Day boat, Saving Private Ryan.
We know what's coming next.
Next season is when the gate flips down and we all just get mowed down by fucking machine gun fire. Like, it's gonna be tough.
Storming the beaches of Normandy.
Yeah. If you work in the Celtics front office, by the way, for the Spurs game, I need to connect with you. I need to get a copy of Malazan Book of the Fallen, Book 1, Gardens of the Moon into Wemby's hand when I go to that.
You can slip it to him.
Yeah. I want to go early. I just want to give it to him. I want to turn him on to peak. We're going to get him off of Sanderson. We're going to get him on to some real fucking hoops. I need the GOAT. I need my GOAT reading the GOAT, I guess is what I'm saying. So
I'm just thinking of Sam doing one of those TikToks where he's crying in the crowd at Celtic Spurs and saying, you know, like when the people cry at the Taylor Swift concerts because of this emotional revelation that the song helped him process.
That would literally be me if like Wemby posted like an Instagram story about Whiskey Jack, like in front of the fucking the Mao like thing. I'm just we have there is a cultural revolution ready to take place with Victor Wembanyama, and I want to be there. I need to get this book to him because he
just needs to win that MVP, and then he can lead the cultural revolution.
That's what I'm saying. We need the Canadian anthropologist, author of high fantasy, verse, and the French phenom. This will be the vanguard of cultural leftism in this country.
By the way, the top three are obvious. It's Giannis, SGA, and Jokic. I had SGA third just because it's really hard to go back to back. Also, while I do think that he will be getting pat on the back, victory lap, you won the championship. Yeah. It's like, in order for him to win second straight MVP, I think it's got to be either the Nuggets just disappoint in a way that I don't see happening, or Giannis gets injured and all these other guys aren't quite on the same level as Shea like he has been the last 2 years.
The two ways you go back to back is you win by default because everyone's bad, and I don't think that's going to happen.
Or we're hurt.
Hurt.
And Jokic has always been the beneficiary. Not that Jokic doesn't deserve it. I'm not saying that. What I'm trying to say is that Jokic being the specific kind of Iron Man that he is makes him kind of bulletproof to the arguments that the other guys just usually don't have.
Yeah. And, you know, and I just think to go back to back, you need to go up a level usually. Like, and it's going to be very hard for SGA to go up a level. Like,
I think this is Jokic's award to lose, and I think that I think that it's Jokic and Giannis are the two guys that it's going to come down to, because to me, Giannis we just laid out what he has to prove for his legacy. We also talk about the fact that, like, even if he can drag this team to the 4 seed, I think he should win it. Like I think this team is a mess. I think this team is like complete dog shit, and he might have those on-off swings that we talked about with Damian Lillard, where last year when Dame sat and Giannis played, they were like a +10 in those minutes. If he does that for a whole season and he stays healthy and he gets this team to a 4 seed and people are feeling like decent about their chances to even win a playoff series, this will be the Giannis, like, I don't want to say recorrection because everyone gives Giannis his flowers, but like this is kind of like similar to LeBron after the Lakers won the title in there. It's like the victory lap MVP for him, where it's like it's stamping his Bucks legacy and stamping his legacy in general.
I do feel like Giannis's level of production, he probably should have won 3 MVPs at some point. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's kind of the Zach. I'm still mad at Zach Lowe for like doing that to Giannis. I very distinctly remember the season that Giannis was going for 3. And he was like listing off guys that had done that. And it was like Bird, like it was all these all-time guys. It was like Bird, Jordan.
That's it.
Maybe
Kareem. I think it's just those 3.
Russell
maybe too.
Russell, yeah.
I don't count basketball before 1975. Sorry.
And he was like, we can't do this. We can't do this. Like Giannis isn't there yet. And then he immediately made the argument when Jokic was going for 3. Like, so I do think that like Giannis, I think there's some flowers to be given here. You also have to remember the MVP more than anything else is a media award. And it's about the media getting excited about a narrative and getting, while Jokic is kind of their default one, because that's I'm so smart. Look at how good I am at reading spreadsheet numbers. Look at how good I am at reading numbers. MVP. He usually does very well in that, but there's usually some sort of narrative undertone to this. And I think Giannis staying put with Milwaukee, with the team that he won a championship with, showing the loyalty is like the exact type of like fucking sports writing. You have to think of the MVP voter as a Bill Simmons is the median MVP voter. So what you have to do is you have to pit how much Bill loves Jokic against how much respect he's going to have for Giannis going back to try to drag this team to competitiveness for the 4 seed. And that's where the soul.
They have to be a top 5 seed in this East still to me. Like, yes. If you're the 6th seed, I know Jokic won it one year when they were the 6th seed. And I know that Russ won it that other year. To me, you still have to be one of the top 5 seeds for me to think that he has a shot at them actually like giving him the MVP here. I'm picking Giannis as my MVP. I do think that Jokic it should be Jokic's award to lose, just because I think everyone is kind of itching to give him another one after last year when, it felt like he was still the best player in the NBA, even after the Thunder won the finals, just because.
Do you feel like that people are itching to give him another one?
I do. I think that we maybe we exist on different parts of the internet, but it felt like after the Thunder won you specifically are like one of the people that was doing this, but like it just felt like everyone was like, well, Jokic is still the best player. It doesn't really matter that they won. And to me, that was the reason why I think that I think the Nuggets are going to be very, you know what? I gotta look at because I went back and forth on Jokic versus Giannis for this, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And what if the Thunder win 70 games though? What if the Thunder win 70 games? It's possible. They didn't even have great injury luck, and they won 68.
Well, it was just Chet, and like that doesn't really matter.
Hartenstein missed 40 games.
Did he really?
Yeah, they missed. They had like weirdly now they had good injury.
I actually did know that because Jalen Williams' advanced stats were like very silly. Have you looked at like Jalen Williams' VORP from last year?
I'm sure it's like top
very
5,
funny.
6. Yeah.
No, I mean big Jalen Williams, not.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's very his big Jalen Williams has a very funny his VORP is like crazy good, like it's from last year, which again I think kind of shows how Mickey some of that
people have discussed this. Like, I think that there's definitely now they don't have as much to prove. Obviously, like what do they have to prove? And they should take their foot off the gas a little bit in the regular season. But like, there's a world where they win 65 to 70 games again, and they're just by far the best team. And everyone's just like, well, I guess we give it to Shea. And by the way, you just made that argument with the analytics stuff. Shea's analytics were better than Jokic's last year. Like, not across the board, but the majority of them, he beat out Jokic in the advanced metrics. And like, if that is the case, he has that in there. He's already won the title. He's won an MVP. Like, to me, these three are the guys that really it comes down to. And I think Giannis slightly, and I also think Giannis is going to have his best advanced metric season in a while, because when he's off the court, they're just going to fucking sink. Like he's going to have the Embiid Jokic SGA on off swing where it's like crazy. Steph had this at one point where it's just like this crazy discrepancy, and it always helps your advanced metrics. So he'll win over some of the nerds. There's a lot of things working for Giannis. My thing that just scares me is like, what if their season is just a disaster? Like, I have them as the 5 seed right now, but like that easily, the bottom could easily fall out on that team. And then it just comes down to Jokic versus SGA again.
I think the issue is more Giannis getting injured than it is them being bad if he plays all those games. Sure. I'm pretty sure if Giannis plays all the games, they'll be like a 5 seed. We did the East thing. The East is like pretty mid. I'm sorry. Are we like gun to my head? Am I sure the Bucks with Giannis are like worse than the Hawks? No, I don't know that. Like,
no, I think there are 2 teams that they're very clearly better than, and I think the Magic, I would say, are the 3rd, and then to me, they're somewhere in that like 4 to 7 range, probably.
It's more just injury stuff. Like that's the thing. Is I think Giannis could absolutely go down for like 15 games, and
he has had one of those injuries the last few years. Yeah, like he has to specifically like not get injured this year for this obviously to happen. But Jokic and SGA have the Iron Man kind of in their corner. They also have SGA.
He missed 2 seasons. What are you talking about?
Hold on. He played 76, 75, 68 the last 3.
Yeah, last 3. But then what was the before that?
56. And then you say that he faked an injury the second half of 2021. So that's 35 games.
Is it real or not? Like,
I'm just saying that's what you say. I'm saying, if you think Sam Presti was behind that, then
fine. If people are willing to give me that, then yeah, he's an Iron Man. But
he's not Jokic or Anthony Edwards, but he certainly is. I'm not worried about him playing 65 to 70 games. Is my point.
No, yes, I guess the broader points. I don't know if I would call him an Iron Man, but I'm pretty comfortable he will hit the 65 game threshold. Which is the point here. So.
All right. I had a quick list of very long shot picks, which were Donovan Mitchell, Alperen Şengün, and then this is my second straight year I had Alperen Şengün and Paulo in there. But I'm still just like, I still think that those guys, it would take massive leaps for them to be in the conversation. And then I also had to throw in Cade, even though I had Cade in my long list.
I'm not kidding.
I did.
I had a list called Gets Votes, and Cade was on my Gets Votes list. Like,
I think he got votes last year.
Oh, did he get votes last year?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was just looking at it.
I thought 7 in odds was too high for him because, like I said, like I would probably put Brunson there. I think the Knicks are just going to be way better. But if in that like 10 range, like where I had him on this list, like I absolutely think he will get votes for sure. Yeah. But
the guy you didn't mention.
Hold on. Did you make your pick? You got to make your pick.
No, my pick is Giannis.
All right, then I'll go Jokic if you're going Giannis.
Okay.
We'll keep it fresh because I was a toss up between those two anyway. I think, just to be clear, I think the Nuggets are going to be like absolute beasts. Like I just think that they're going to win 57 games, 60 games, and then they'll be the 1 or 2 seed, and then he'll have another good case.
I just think at a certain point, this award is not about the players; it is about the sports media telling themselves a story, and this is the Giannis is going to be the juicy story. Like,
Jokic is the one thing that Jokic does have working for him is like the fact that they went toe to toe with the Thunder and lost last year, and it was like I know he actually low key had 2 of his worst playoff games ever in that series.
Yeah,
but he was also like hitting like crazy shots and keeping them in it for the majority of that series. So that's the one thing. Like, I mean, their offense they will have the best offense in the NBA by a wide margin. Like,
yeah.
I think that they're going to have very clearly the best offense, and he's coming off one of the best offensive regular seasons of all time. So,
Can I make another prediction?
sure.
I think SGA is going to have a better statistical year this year and come in third.
It's definitely possible. It's
Yeah.
hard. It's hard to follow up.
Yeah.
All right.
I just think you have to be so much better.
We got to move on. It's an hour and 10 minutes in. So hold on.
Sure.
All right. Players who can win Rookie of the Year.
Good.
There's Cooper Flag is very obvious. I put VJ Edgecombe on the image just because I wanted people to click on it. Cooper Flag's gonna run away with this. Like he has everything in his corner to win this award. He's going to the team that everyone is spitting on, hating, saying Nico's a piece of shit. Was the best college player last year, number 1 pick in the draft. People are. I still think
Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks in the Elvis movie.
Yeah, he's white.
He's white.
He's
gonna get the media bump for that. Like,
he'll probably have the ball and take a ton of shots because their lack of guard play. And while their team is very weird, like they're gonna be competitive enough that like they'll probably be somewhere in the West play-in range.
Yeah,
assuming that they
not
shut the fuck up. But also you don't even need that for Rookie of the Year, to be clear.
No,
like they have given it, they've warmed up a little bit to that idea, but like the last 2 years, the Spurs weren't good, and the Wemby and then Castle won. So
that was that because I was trying to look at other guys besides Flag who were like possible for this. I was wondering, like, what if like Fox goes down and like the Spurs are just awesome? Like, what if the Spurs are like a 4 seed or a 3 seed and like have home court and like Harper's like good out of the gate?
So I had 2 guys ahead of Harper only because it's possible. Because I mean, we talked about it like right after Fox got hurt and they announced it. Like we heard that the hamstring was worse than it was being reported. And now they're saying that he's going to miss the start of the season, and hamstring injuries don't go away. That's like
it's not good for an athlete like Fox.
Yeah. And like, I think he's going to miss 5 to 10 games to start the year. And maybe they stumble into, oh shit, Harper's amazing. Yeah. But also he still will be carrying part of the offensive load with Castle and Vassell and Wemby and all these other guys. And even with Fox out, it feels like, how many shots per game is he going to get? Because like, if he averages 15 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds on like decent efficiency, and like is very clearly, he definitely has a shot for sure. I had 2 other guys ahead of him though. Okay. You can guess them.
Okay.
Two's kind of obvious, I think.
I don't know. I immediately went to Harper just because I thought that like somebody was going to be
second pick shine for sure. That's definitely a big thing. High pick bias.
And I just think he's going to be so visible, like with the
for sure.
You know, just with playing with Wemby and everything else. Did you have Trey Johnson as another option? Yeah. Okay.
I had Trey Johnson. Trey Johnson's the only player on this list that I think can average 20 points a game.
Yeah.
Other than Flag. And if he averages,
that would be bad for him. I think it would be bad for him if he won Rookie of the Year. I don't
disagree. I'm just saying I think that he's going to be the guy that hype aura moments first off.
Yes.
He will be aura farming like crazy. He's going to have a game where he hits 7 threes and everyone loses.
I will be seated. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to love every fucking.
The Wizards are going to be complete dog shit, but that's probably going to be good for his Rookie of the Year case.
Yes,
which is that like and look, there will be nerds saying, look at his impact metrics and they're the worst team of all time. And did you see Kevin Pelton's model had them as the worst team ever in his model?
That's kind of crazy.
14 wins, which is the lowest total he's ever gotten for a team since he started doing his projection model.
That's tough.
Yeah. Really I mean, I don't think they're going to be that bad. I think they'll probably be, I think I took their under, but like it was pretty low. It was like a 21. I think I literally was like, they're going to win like 19 games. But like, if they just let Trey cook, like I do think that they have incentive to let Trey really ball out this year, not only because they want to see what he is long term. They don't know if they have that guy on their roster currently. They want to get a high pick again next year, and like they need to hit their lottery ticket, basically, is what I'm trying to get at here. Like they need to find a star, because we're going into year 3 of this rebuild, and it's like not a ton has really come about from this. And like, how many years are they really going to be able to stomach doing this is the question that I have. I think that Trey is very clearly number 2 in terms of like, he's going to be decently efficient as a scorer. He'll probably average 20 points. Maybe the playmaking's better than we think with NBA spacing, and his defense is going to be tough, but like people don't care about that.
No one's going to give a shit. They're like you said, they're going to win fucking 17 games. Nobody cares.
All right. Third I had on my list.
Let me guess this one too. I'm going to guess you went with your boy Khan Knippel.
It's the Chinese century, baby.
Oh, okay. Talk to me about. I looked at. I'm worried their center rotation is too good for him.
That definitely is possible, but also like I think they're if Young Hanson's good, I think they're just going to be like, go cook. Like,
I mean, they should. Like, I would love that. I hope that happens. Like,
everything we've heard is that they're like really excited. He's a little bit older than you think too. Usually when we get these foreign guys coming over, they're like 18 and they take like 3 years. He's like 20 already. So like he might just be good right out the gate. And like, now he'll probably start the season getting 15, 20 minutes a game, and they'll slowly ease him into it like they did with Klingon last year. But like, I think there's a very good chance we're sitting here in Mickey Mouse March and there's a stretch where he just averages like 17 points and like 10 rebounds for a week or two, and everyone loses their mind. And he's finishing down the ballot, but not that far down the ballot. Like,
in the words of SH, my toes are out. I will be feted for the Young Hansen Mickey Mouse March. President sending the National Guard to stop Young Hansen.
Young Hansen. Get Future in here.
That would be awesome, dude. Who's the first? Who are we gonna? Who's gonna have the name drop Young Hansen in the?
Amin. I think Amin is a Portland rapper. I think that's how you say his, or it might be. I don't know how to say his name. I've only read it, but he's from Portland, so I'm assuming he's a Blazers fan. And I'm assuming he seems like the kind of guy that would be. Babytron's a good one too. Yeah, Babytron. Babytron name drops a lot of those. Sada Baby also was the first one who had a Lowry Markkanen big ass shotgun. Looks like Lowry Markkanen, which was
that's awesome.
When he played for the Bulls, by the way. This was in like 2018. Like he was saying it before people knew who Lowry Markkanen really even was, because he's a Pistons fan. Yeah. So he was dropping that. But there are a lot of rappers that I could definitely see RXK Nephew with
that's a good one.
Reference.
Yes, that's a good one.
Because he just references all this random shit. If this were Action Bronson's prime, he would have already had a line.
Yeah, for sure.
But Action Bronson just doesn't really rap anymore. So, but yeah, no, that is a good call.
Speaking of which, and with one battle after another too, is Mo Bamba have the biggest gap between fame of the song Name Drop versus how good they are as a player?
Having a song named after him for sure.
Yes.
Now being dropped in a song, I mean, there are plenty of players like that have just been randomly dropped in a song. Honestly, not many are as bad as like.
That's the thing. Like you're usually like at least rotation players.
Remember J. Cole had a Drew Gooden drop, but like Drew Gooden was a good college player and like a okay NBA player.
Yeah.
There were like a few. I'm trying to think of like rappers who had like really obscure ones. I think this is another Sada Baby line, which is Muscles for No Reason, like Eric Bledsoe. There's Billy Woods. Billy Woods does really obscure ones. I can't remember the like super obscure ones, but he's had a few.
Did everyone in your theater sit up when Mo Bamba played in like one battle after another? Because there was like a visceral reaction in the crowd I was in, where every millennial, like a fucking
It
was like
activated a sleeper cell of.
That's what I'm saying. It was like a dog whistle, like when a
Penn
dog
State
like
game.
perks up. Like every millennial perked up in the theater, like when Mo Bamba the Mo
Well,
Bamba drop came in.
I was seeing it during the day, so I was the only person that was under the age of like 60 in the theater.
Okay.
So,
Gotcha.
yeah. There was also only like 6 people in the theater. So,
Yeah, there wasn't a lot. I was only like
yeah.
24 in my showing, but like
Go see the movie. I might see it again for
yeah.
a second time this weekend, to be honest. Might take Lauren to go see it.
Yeah.
So, all right. I had Harper and VJ 4 and 5. My thing with VJ is I just don't think his scoring efficiency is going to be good enough. I do think the steals and blocks and rebounds combined with like he's going to get like 3 or 4 assists a game just because he's a good passer and we need good passers.
I think he's like I think he's the pick to headline the second team. Like yeah. I bet he's the type of guy where it's like he's clearly a very good player. He's gonna be on the second team with like whichever second round pick guy is good.
I think if he's decent though, I think he will make the first team, and here's why.
What is that?
He's going to be one of the only ones who are starting. He's going to get starters minutes.
That's true.
Everyone we've named, the only starters are for sure when everyone's healthy are Cooper Flagg and Trey Johnson. Hansen will come off the bench. Dylan Harper will come off the bench.
Malawatch will probably start.
I'm not worried about Malawatch. Okonkwo will start too. So he'll probably make one of the higher teams. But there's not many guys that are starting and honestly, even with the Suns rotation, like Mark Williams gets hurt a lot, so you can probably bake that in. But like, they have other bigs on that roster as well. Nick Richards and
Kalkbrenner.
No, Kalkbrenner's on the Hornets.
Oh, sorry, you're talking about. I thought you were talking about the.
Oso Iguodala was the other one I was going to say. But the long and short of it, I had on my long shots, I had Khan, Walter Clayton, and Nick Clifford, and then Ace Bailey.
I think Khan has a better shot than VJ. I'm going to be honest.
He'll definitely score more points. Yeah. I'll say that much. I think he'll score more points. My thing with Khan is that like I think he's very clearly going to be the third or fourth option most times when he's on the court.
True. Yeah.
And I think that Khan will, and this shouldn't matter for Rookie of the Year. I think Khan's going to have some really like crazy lowlights where it's just like he gets cooked, white guy gets cooked on an island type thing, and everyone just kind of clowns him. And like I will defend him because I love Khan, but like he's very much like a doughy white boy who will have moments where he's just athletically overwhelmed. For sure. But Khan looked, I mean, he went 4 of 10 in his first preseason game from 3. He went 2 of 3 inside the arc. He didn't really have many other stats other than scoring, but like he's going to be able to score. We know that about Khan.
Well, and here's the other thing though. The other elephant in the room is like, so what happens when LaMelo goes down again? And then all of a sudden he's elevated to 2, like for a Mickey Mouse March run, like
that could happen.
Yeah. Like that, that's kind of more what I'm thinking. I don't think he has much of a shot at like actually winning Rookie of the Year. I'm more talking about like, but I think I would probably have him more on a lot of times the first team guys are the guys who like have high points per game. And then they use the second team to like guys like VJ who are like good players kind of make it like, and that's also like the older guys who are helping their teams win or something. Like I bet like Jace Richardson, I bet will make second team. I think if Rasheer Fleming is like normal for the Suns, like he'd be like a second team guy who's like not a good NBA player, but he always has on his Wikipedia page
that have a chance because he's like playing like some backup minutes and stuff. No, I know what you're saying. Yeah, my first team would honestly, it's a little bit of a cop out, but I think my first team would just be the starting, like the top 4 picks. And then I would probably either put Trey or Young Hansen, probably Trey. And then I'd have Young because he'll probably still get some backup minutes. But
I hope Young Hansen plays, dude. I'm like trying not to get my hopes up. Like that's why I like didn't include Young Hansen on this stuff because I was just like, oh no,
I definitely think he's going to play. I think it's just a matter of how many minutes can he steal, and are they willing to go double big with him and Clingan and just go massive?
What would it like? the ultimate I've won, but at what cost? If Robert Williams has his most healthy season ever, but it destroys Young Hanson's playing time.
You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, for those of you watching at home, Trill did the visual, like real life version of the guy putting the hand on the shoulder meme to me just now.
Nah, bud. He's not practicing yet, right? Like I heard as of when they got there, when he got there, they were like he hasn't even, and like Joel was even on the court. I know they both have a similar injury to the meniscus, but like I just like Joel's at least like I've seen photos and videos of him practicing. They said that he was doing like 5-on-5 drills and stuff. I haven't heard anything about Robert Williams, so I think that Duop Reith is more likely to steal minutes from him than because they got rid of Ayton, and then I don't really think they have anyone that they'll go small with either. Is the other thing like
they kind of have to play Jeremy Grant because they paid him
for sure, but Jeremy Grant is not going to play the 5. Like
he'll play the 4, but I'm just saying for the double big thing, it like cuts in
for sure. Yeah. I think that they are more likely to play Young Hansen 20 minutes a game just to see what they have with him and not worry about his development long term. Like just be like, look at how good this guy is. All right, let's go to players who can win most improved player.
Go.
So the odds
this is the hardest one for me every year. We do this every year where it's like, all right, do we pick a year 3 player or someone whose situation has changed?
It's random though, because like 2 years ago, Maxey won, and then last year Dyson Daniels won.
Yeah.
So it's like
he a year 3 player though? I think he was, right?
He was a year 3 player.
Yeah.
He was a year 3 player. And then from there, so he was a year 3 player, but he also got traded to a new team and had a new circumstance. So he had kind of both.
Yeah.
A little bit of both. Whereas Maxey was a 3rd-year player and we had Maxey was a 4th-year player and we had just gotten rid of James Harden. So opportunity opened up for him on the Sixers. So here are the players who can actually win most improved. Okay. Number 5, I had Peyton Pritchard. New opportunity. A ton of more shots to go around. He's going to start this year. Yeah. We'll see how much he can actually scale up with the Celtics team. He certainly should be on the list. Number 4, who shall not be named, also on the Blazers.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's probably that's probably him.
They're going to be just on people's radar more this year, and that will be huge for him. 3, another guy who's getting more opportunity this year, Andrew Nembhard. Where I'm a little skeptical that he's going to fill in well for Halliburton. But I'm not like I've said this about him over and over again. He only averages 10 points a game in the regular season. Like with this new opportunity, he will average somewhere between 50 and 20 points per game. His assists will go up. If he can keep the efficiency numbers somewhere around the same, he's going to be in the ballpark for this conversation. Second, I had Shaedon Sharpe. Although Shaedon Sharpe's counting stats are really, really good, that's the hard part about him is like his counting stats are already good. So he would have to take like a massive like 24 points per game. And I just don't know if he really like if they're gonna trust him enough with the ball to do that. But like I had him on my list here just because I feel like if we're talking about 3rd or 4th year guys that can make leaps, he's certainly one of them. He apparently already is looking really good in training camp, and we'll see what he looks like in the preseason here. And then number 1, I think Amen Thompson is the guy that I'm going to go with.
Oh my God. Wait. Okay. You want to hear my pick?
Yes.
Asar Thompson is my pick.
So there you go.
There we go. Like, I think and for the same token, I also had like Amen in my I think Amen's like too good already. You know what I'm saying? Or it's like more visible. You know,
this is the Maxey pick though.
Yes.
This is the pick that it was for a few years where once again, it's a roulette where it's like it goes back and forth between the all the guys I named here were guys who score. So maybe it is the random Dyson Daniels you get. The Asar Thompson would be the equivalent for Dyson. That.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. Where it's like, okay, you get more opportunity, you get the health, the Pistons are pretty good. He's in the public eye, all that.
Yep.
Amen is like he makes the All-Star team, and the Rockets are a top 5 seed in the West, and he averages 20 points a game on and has similar numbers across the board outside of that, and is like one of the best defenders in the NBA still.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's a better. I mean, just like if you actually want to bet on this, if you're one of those perverts that actually wants to do that, Amen's like a better pick, I think, like odds wise. I just think Asar. The problem is I don't think the Pistons are going to be like better this year, and you kind of need that. But I do think Asar, just in terms of like play, like is going to like could really take like a pretty big leap this year, just in terms of like I think he's going to have more responsibility.
He hasn't played that many minutes so far in his career.
That's what I'm saying. Like he hasn't played that many minutes. I feel like he's kind of an afterthought. Like I feel like a lot of people don't consider him remotely on the level of his brother. And like Amen's definitely better, but I don't know that it's like staggering the way that I think it's like kind of in the eye of most NBA players, like, or most NBA analysts.
I think that Asar, if he gets a ton more opportunity this year and is the second best player on the Pistons a year from now, when we're talking, will certainly be a very good pick for this. I mean, he just hasn't really been able to stay healthy, get the minutes. I think that hopefully was an aberration for him, and he comes back and he's fine. The reason why everyone, and I love Amen, like don't get me wrong, I love both of them. I love Amen especially, but like it does feel like everyone's itching. Maxey got the benefit for this 2 years ago, where it was like really good vibes, already good player in a spotlight. New opportunity. Fred VanVleet gets hurt. James Harden gets traded. People are itching to give Amen some sort of credibility and award here. He's honestly on my list for Defensive Player of the Year too.
That is actually where he turned up on mine too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, we'll talk about that in a little bit here, but I just want to do real quick on the long shots. I have a few different guys that are people will accuse me of just bringing up the same players over and over again, but I don't care.
Quentin
Grimes.
No,
Quentin Grimes.
I was gonna have to.
He already made the statistical leap last year.
Yeah.
And also the Sixers are gonna have to play him a lot, but he's not gonna be on this now. Honestly, if Jared McCain were healthy, he would probably be a better bet, but he's already hurt. So Santi Aldama, I have to bring him up. New opportunity. Ja might be out. Gotta bring him up. Ty Jerome, another one that Will accuses me of overrating, but he looked great in preseason to start, and Ja might be out again.
Yeah.
If Ja's out, there's opportunity with that team because they lost Bane and Ja's out. Like one of the Memphis guys taking a leap is definitely in the cards, just due to opportunity. Scottie Pippen might also be a guy that you could throw in there just because of that, to be honest with you. And then the other guy that I have to mention, which is more of a long shot, but it might just be a prestige zone thing, is Pods.
So I had Pods as one of my long shots. But I was just looking at year 3 guys, and I thought that like
he'll be a fifth starter with a bunch of really good vets.
Yeah, he's gonna be there with the
squad. Yeah, and he will be like I just don't think his stats will jump up that much, but he definitely should be on the long list of like consideration third-year guys, like you said. The opposite. You want to go the opposite direction though, and have a extremely long shot, and it would be absurd woke nonsense if he does win.
Who's that?
What if Wemby's just the best player in the NBA?
Do you remember? Was it Giannis? This happened with like a player where there was like an MVP candidate people wanted to give most improved to.
It was Luka.
It was Luka. Okay.
But to be fair, I remember defending that year because I was like, you don't understand. Luka went from like sub all-star to top 7 player in the NBA. Like it was such an insane. Ja Morant was the one where it was just like, all right, like we knew Ja, like even Maxey went from like really good player to like all-star. Ja went from like, hey, this guy's gonna very clearly make all NBA to just he made it basically.
Yeah, he did it.
And, like he was on before the injury stuff. Ja was on the superstar trajectory. Like it was obvious. But Luka was the guy that because the year Giannis won, he genuinely did make a big leap. Like he was still on that. He already had started on that developmental leap, but when he won, it was like pretty reasonable. It would be like Amen winning this year, basically. But the the Wemby thing would be absurd on its face. But if Wemby is the best player in the NBA, like, and he is in, top 2 or 3 for MVP, I think he's already too good. Like, once again, it would be utter woke nonsense, but like the media would love to just be like, well, we can't fully give him MVP because the Spurs aren't good enough, but we could give him most improved. He already won Rookie of the Year and is a generational prospect, but
the other like woke nonsense pick that it's not quite as bad as that, but I looked at Paolo for this too, which is a similar.
I think Paolo's too good in everyone's mind already.
But like I think the stats, it is going to be like a dramatic stats bump.
That would be the Ja Morant pick. Like Ja won Rookie of the Year, Paolo won Rookie of the Year. Yeah, they had both already made All-Star games by that point. That's definitely that would be. I mean, I think we picked Franz last year, if I remember correctly, as one of these top guys, but I think Franz is too good now.
Yeah, now he's too good.
Yeah. Although the Magic getting the recognition could help him too.
The other long shot I had that you didn't mention was Lively.
Yeah, I don't know.
You think he's too good? Like,
no. I think that you're correct in your analysis. I want to see what he looks like with this team. Is so weird. This team is just like, I just don't know what to make of it. Like, is he going to put up the right stats? Is Cooper Flagg and Anthony Davis like running offense through them going to be beneficial for Lively's game? Is my question.
I do think I believe in Flagg the lob thrower. I do think that he's going to be like better.
He definitely showed part of that last year for sure.
Anthony Davis less so. I don't think Anthony Davis is necessarily the tide that lifts all boats, but
I guess if AD gets hurt and then you just have the Flagg and Lively front court and they're just they're spamming pick and roll all the time, it's possible for sure. Yeah. I mean, I underrated Lively for sure. Like, I think that if he can, that the health is the big concern for me with him, but definitely on the long list for 3rd year guys for sure. Like, he's one of the few guys that like already he hasn't necessarily gotten his flowers, but he's obviously very good.
I have one last one labeled funniest outcome. Cam Johnson, most improved player.
Cam Johnson or
Cam Thomas? Cam Thomas. Yeah. I read Grant said Cam Johnson in chat, and I had that in my head. But no,
I want to live in that reality where
Cam Thomas winning most improved player on the qualifying offer would be so good, dude.
Yeah, I don't think that Cam Thomas or Grimes could win on the qualifying offer. I will say we didn't mention the other 2 guys who actually ended up getting real contracts, but Giddey and Kuminga would also be funny outcomes.
It would be. I mean, if Josh Giddey won most improved after last year, he would just be a good player. Like, at that point, like, just like not.
He's a net neutral now.
It can't happen yet. Like.
By the way, many people on TikTok are very angry that Matas Buzelis balled out in his preseason debut. By the way, people these teenagers that called me an idiot for saying he should be number 1 in a redraft in 2024, they're seething and coping hard. They were mad. They were mad because I bigged up Buzelis and didn't big up Sar, and I was like, yeah, Buzelis is good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like. Again, the biggest compliment I can pay Sar is I'm extremely skeptical of him, and every once in a while I'll watch him and I'll go, "It's possible," But he sucks. He stinks. He's yeah.
Look, someone asked me, "Do you think that Sar could make the All-Star game at some point in his career?"
No,
and I said, I just don't see it. I think the East is too loaded at guard.
He has a better shot of making an all-defense team than he does of making an all-star team.
For sure. Speaking of, players who can win Defensive Player of the Year.
I mean, this is Wemby running away with it.
I mean, he should have won last year.
I'm mad. I think I would have had an insane hit rate last year. He didn't.
So we definitely wouldn't have gotten most improved, but we 100% got MVP and 100% got Defensive Player of the Year.
And I think I got 6th man of the year. I think I said Peyton Pritchard, 6th man of the year.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
I think I went back and revisited. I think you're correct.
Yeah.
Or at least you mentioned him very high.
Yes. So it, we were very close.
Yeah. Because I know someone that did Ticket Impulse who listens to this podcast and is a subscriber. across the board, YouTube, Patreon. He's one of our shout out to Impulse.
Shout out to Impulse, yeah.
But he
was in here earlier. He was doing a power chat earlier. So shout out to our guy.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Let's go.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So anyway, the long and short of this is that he did a ticket last year and it was SGA, Wemby for Defensive Player of the Year. And then I think the third one was he went with our most improved and we did not get it. I think it was Franz. And honestly,
no, it was the Wemby. It was Wemby not getting Defensive Player of the Year that lost him the ticket.
But I think he had already lost, he said, on another one. And I think it was most improved player, which was Franz. So even if Wemby stayed, because we won it for him 2 years ago.
Yeah.
He hit a parlay with that.
Yeah,
which we don't encourage.
We don't endorse yet,
but I'm glad he won money because of us. Players who can actually win, it's Wemby by a mile, and then I just had other candidates. We can just run through this.
Yeah,
I had Mobley who won last year. Cavs should have a really good defense again. Dyson Daniels, Amen Thompson, one of the OKC guys, which is either Chet Dort. I don't think Caruso plays enough minutes, but he's probably their best defensive player.
Should we have talked for Kaysen about most improved?
No, I just don't think
I don't think so either. Yeah.
No. Honestly, if I'm making a long shot most improved bet, I'd go with J-Dub. Like
he's a good one for like guy who makes all NBA.
That's what I'm saying. Like if he's very clearly like a top 12 player next year, he's getting the benefit of the doubt from the previous year because they won the championship and stuff.
He made all NBA last year, right?
Maybe third team. He might have made third team because of the injuries and availability. I think that he might have made third team, but I don't think.
He did. No, because I was making fun of that, and then I
you were.
Owned. Yeah, and then I got owned. Yeah.
Because he made third team, but I don't think he would have made it if everyone stayed healthy. But then again, that's no one stays healthy anymore.
Sure.
But J-Dub, his counting stats aren't as good as you think. He averaged 21 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. Like if he goes up to 25 a game and like. That's the Mickey, like this is ridiculous MIP award, but it should be mentioned at a minimum. You know what I mean?
He finished 12th in Clutch Player of the Year 2 years ago.
We'll get the Clutch Player. I have it on my long list.
Okay.
My long list of awards.
Such a silly one.
So I had Mobley, Dyson Daniels, Amen, Chet/Dort. And then the other two guys I thought had an outside chance were Draymond and then Jalen Suggs if the Magic just have an insane
that's a good one.
Defense next year. Draymond could get the legacy one because it is kind of ridiculous. He's only won one defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
The Warriors should have a really good defense if everyone stays relatively healthy at a minimum. And then so that's it. But this is Wemby's award to lose.
It's Wemby. What about Gobert if like the Wolves are really good? Did you think about that one?
He's already won 3. Like
no, but like the nerds like, always show out for him, you know. Like
I think they've given up on that, to be honest with you. Yeah. Like I'm just like I think Gobert's won his defensive player of the years. Like I just think that is they have too many good defensive players. Like he won't get all the credit. Like 2 years ago when he won, they were like, "Whoa, he did this with Cat."
Yeah,
like that was like a big part of the reason why they were the 1 seed. He did it with Cat, like whatever. But okay. So next up. Players who can win 6 man of the year. So DeAndre Hunter was the front runner for this, but Max Strus is injured, so he's going to start for them, I think.
I don't even know. I don't know what I was trying to like figure out teams' rotations to even know who qualifies for this.
Okay, so I want to eliminate some guys. Okay. Jonathan wants to make sure that we shout out to Devin Vassell here because I guess Devin Vassell will be their 6 man. But when everyone's healthy, Dylan Harper will be their 6 man. So. Probably not. But all right. So I had Jordan Clarkson was second in odds. I was like, Jordan Clarkson is washed.
He sucks, dude. He hasn't actively bad.
And he hasn't been in this category for years because he's been starting. Now he's a 6 man again, but like I don't think that's gonna last. Like Jake brought up in the comments earlier here. I think they're keeping Brogdon just when Clarkson is very obviously not playable. Like there's a chance that Clarkson is out of the rotation by January. And then you just have Brogdon as the insurance policy. Like I don't really see a way that he ends up towards the top of this. That was just insane to me.
Yeah. Well, and as Jonathan says, wouldn't Deuce be the fucking 6 man? Like
Deuce is by far their best bench guard.
And honestly, he's probably one of the better picks for this.
I should have had him, to be honest.
Yeah.
I actually watching that preseason game, and I know he does it every year to the Sixers. He's fucking Michael Jordan against the Sixers, but I could see him being the one that benefits the most from having Mike Brown, just because like he's gonna take a ton of open shots and they're gonna move the ball and he's gonna get into the mid range. Like I could see him
genuinely good. Like he's also just genuinely good. Like
he had like a kind of a down regular season last year, but like I could absolutely see him winning this award. I'll put him 5 on my list. I should have had him higher, to be honest, especially because this team's it's always a guy from a good team that wins this award. So that's the big thing, which is why I tried to only pick guys that will be on like not clear playoff teams, but like I think there were a few guys that are just going to get eliminated because they're not actually 6 men. Like Peyton Pritchard won't win this year.
No, yeah.
Peyton, this is a Peyton Pritchard, Beal, and Shaden Sharp were all up there in the top 6 in odds. And I was like, all of those guys are going to start for their teams.
Yeah.
They've already pretty much announced it, right? Like, I felt like I was going insane, like reading these odds. The other two, that one that was up there that if health permitted here, sure, I could see Jared McCain, but Jared's already hurt. And like, there's almost no chance Jared starts because even if one of the guards gets injured, VJ, Grimes, Maxey, they'll just start a wing instead. And then they won't start 3 guards like they could potentially do this upcoming season. Like, I don't see a scenario where Jared is starting by the end of the year, but I also don't think he plays enough games because he's already going to miss the first 5. And you're automatically so close to, like, if you miss 5 games, you're already like almost within 10 of not being eligible for awards. So that's why I had to remove him. The other guy that I had as my super long shot, if he did not have this hamstring injury, was Scoot Henderson. Because I do think Scoot would have been their 6th man. And like with a little bit of improvement, he would get a lot of, like, he was a top pick. People want to see him do well. The Blazers should be better this year, but I didn't have him on my short list, which I'm now adding to McBride. I had John Collins, number 4.
Where is he?
Clippers. He's on the Clippers.
That's probably a pretty good pick. They always turn chicken shit into chicken salad. Like,
and him playing with Harden is like perfect for him. And he was good last year. Like, he's going to be a 6 man probably this year for them.
He's like a player where I can't tell if he's good or not. Like, I think like the contract like made me like too sour on him. He's probably still like a pretty good player.
I think just the value of having a 4 who can rebound and shoot makes me think that he's good. Like, or at least solid. Like, there are so few teams that have those guys that are 4s that can rebound, protect the rim a little bit, shoot, and he's also a good vertical athlete. Like, I don't want him with the ball making decisions, doing stuff, but like he can absolutely be like, I could see him having like a resurgent year. How many times do we see this with Clippers guys? Norm Powell, Derek Jones Jr., Chris Dunn, fucking Nick Batum. Like, they always just get guys, and then they just, and especially with Harden there now, like basically put Zubac in the all-star conversation. Like, I think John Collins is a really good pick. The other guys that I had on my list, Anthony Simons. Celtics aren't going to be good, but like he could average 20 points a game off the bench.
It's possible. That's the thing with like Pritchard and Simons is it's like who starts. You know what I'm saying?
Pritchard's going to start, and then Simons is going to be the 6th man.
For the start, I don't know. Like I think that might be fluid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm watching the preseason tonight. I'm going to see how it looks. We'll see what the rotations look like. That game tips in 5 minutes. I might stream that, to be honest.
Let's go. Turn up. Already 8 o'clock, and you're going to stream?
Yeah, I might. Well, just for the first half.
Okay, but, fair. All right, then let's get through this because my choice for 6th man of the year, I think he already won it, but I'm going to go with Naz Reid.
That's a good pick. Yeah, he might win. Do you? Good. I want to run through a couple guys.
All right, before you continue, I had Ty Jerome on this list too, but I'm removing him now because I think he might end up starting too much because Jaw's already out. So then it would be Scott. I'll replace him with Scottie Pippen Jr. then.
Do we think Mathurin starts? That was one I was trying to figure out.
He is starting.
Okay. So
yeah, they already said he's starting.
Okay.
That's why I took him off my list.
So is Obi starting then?
No, Obi will come off the bench. But Obi, he could win. He could win.
Like, again, the Pacers might not be good, but he's another one I'm looking at. If Jalen Wells does not start, That's another one I'm looking at. He will, you
I
think?
think he will. Yeah. I think Coward's going to come off the bench for them. So their starting five is going to be Jaren Jackson. Their front court's already demolished. I don't know if you've seen this.
Yeah,
but
I mean, that's who the Celtics are playing tonight, so I'm going to see it.
Well, yeah, you'll get a good look at it. But yeah, no, these are the only guys I think can win the award. To be honest with you, like I'm picking Naz Reid because like I know Naz is going to come off the bench. I know the Wolves are going to be pretty good. Maybe Bruce Brown has an outside shot on the Nuggets or something, or what Caruso.
What about Buddy Hield if the Warriors are really good?
Maybe, I don't know.
I'm just saying the Warriors have juice. We also didn't talk about Steph for MVP as like a long shot. I had him on my really long list.
I don't have him. I just don't think he's going to play enough games.
Yeah, maybe not.
I think he's done. Yeah.
Nah is coming off the bench, but I don't think he like scores enough to be like a real MVP or a 6-man consideration guy. Like,
yeah, there's a chance, but we got 2 more awards to get through here. Coach of the Year.
This one is just basically like look at who's gonna like improve.
Who's the most surprising, and that's why I had my pick as Jamal Mosley.
Yeah, that's a pretty safe pick.
Feels like they're going to be like the 3 seed, number 1 defense.
Yeah, I looked at Quinn Snyder. I think will be up there as well.
Mm-hmm. I had Quinn Snyder at 4.
Yeah.
I also had, by the way, Spo legacy pick. We do this every year. He still has not won. But also like the Heat are probably going to like how good the Heat would have to be the 5 seed for me to think that he could have a chance. Like they're probably going to be the 7 or 8 or 9 seed.
I'm fucking nauseous saying this.
Say it.
I'm fucking nauseous saying this. If the Celtics are like a 5 seed, I think Joe Mazzulla gets a pretty hard look too.
Well, he didn't win the year that they won the title, right?
No, he didn't.
No, Dagnall won, right?
Dagnall won, yeah. So
yeah, no. Yeah, JJ is someone else I had on my long list just because JJ was really good his first year. The Lakers, but I don't think the Lakers are going to be better. They were the 3 seed last year, and
he probably should have gotten more consideration last year, to be honest. Like,
yeah, well, Kenny Atkinson was a new hire, and they won 65 games.
Yeah, so. I mean, like I know they couldn't have, but like he did a really good job last year. It's going to be hard for him to repeat that in the same time.
On my long list, I had Mike Brown on there as well because new hire for the Knicks. They'd have to get the 1 seed in order for him to win. He's also already won Coach of the Year with the Kings a few years ago, which is funny. I remember that. He would have 2 more Coach of the Years than Spo.
I think that was a call I made with like 2 years ago when we did the thing. I think I got that. Like I think
it was at least you had him towards the top of your list for sure.
Yeah.
And then so my list was Jamal Mosley, Mike Brown, Spo, Quinn Snyder, David Adelman, the Nuggets head coach after their weird year last year. They're probably gonna finish top 2 or 3 in the West. Like you gotta have them for consideration. I had Dagnall just because they won the championship. He won 2 years ago. What if they win 70 games? Like, I feel like you have to give it to him. And then my other guy I had on the long list was JB Bickerstaff for if the Pistons are like a top 3 or 4 seed. Yeah.
I do feel
especially because they went from as terrible as they were 2 years ago to this.
I think I'm going to join you on the Mosley train just because I think the closer a coach is to getting fired, bizarrely, the higher they end up in this. Remember that happened with why am I blanking on his name? Raptors coach.
Dwayne Casey.
Dwayne Casey. Like that's happened with Dwayne Casey like years ago, where he's like kind of close to being fired, but also you have like a pop-off season. And then you get fired the year after the pop-off season, but you do win Coach of the Year. The
winner of Coach of the Year is always either a first-year head coach or someone coming off a disaster season.
Yeah,
like it's like pretty much always that. First-year head coaches have a massive advantage in this category.
Sure,
like and honestly, there aren't many first-year head coaches this year. Like Mike Brown's one of the only ones that's coaching a good team. It's like and David Adelman started last year with the Nuggets, so like. Really, the only true hire that I listed off here that was a first-year guy was Mike Brown. But Mosley, like, I'm pretty confident the Magic are going to be a top 3 seed in the East. And I'm also pretty confident that they're going to have one of the best defenses. And he's a defensive coach. So he'll get a lot of flowers there. If they have the 12th best offense and the 2nd best defense, and they're a top 3 seed, like, he's going to for sure get a lot of get a lot of love.
That's a good one from Vamp. Rick Carlisle is kind of a sleeper pick. Like if the Pistons are good and
the Pacers are like competitive.
Yeah, if they're competitive, and I know everyone's like itching to give him his flowers after like the run he put together like last year.
Yeah, no, rightfully so. I mean,
Yes.
he's a beast.
Yeah.
All right, so clutch player of the year. What's that?
I'm sticking with Mosley though. I think
Mosley.
I think Mosley wins. The Raptors lose in the second round this year, and then he gets fired at the end of next year. Magic, yeah. What did I say?
Raptors. Yeah.
Dwayne Casey comparisons are.
I was gonna say you just said that Rick Carlisle is still the coach of the Pistons since 2004 somehow, or 2003 he coached them.
My brain is dying, man.
No, hold on, it was before because Larry Brown won the title in 04 with them. It's 2002, and Rick Carlisle, life is good. 9/11 1 year anniversary
didn't happen.
All right. Anyway, clutch player of the year is the last award I want to get to here. I had 5 guys because this is the most random award. Do you know the 3 players who have won this award?
De'Aaron Fox won it 1 year. I remember.
First year it was De'Aaron Fox.
Did Cade win it last year?
No, it was Brunson.
Okay. And then
2 years ago, it was Steph 2 years ago.
Okay.
So here's my 5. Once again, this is a very random award.
Yes.
So I have 5 guys that I'm just saying could get hot. Team should be pretty decent. And by the way, the tough thing with this award, like you want to be like, oh, well, like Jokic or SGA or like their teams are probably going to be too good. So they're probably going to be winning too many games by too much to have clutch opportunities. Yes. So I took guys on teams that I think will be in close games a lot and guys that can just get hot at the right time. So I had 5. I had Tyrese Maxey because if we win games, he's going to be one of the only reasons. 4, I had Trae Young. 3, I had Kevin Durant. 2, I had Anthony Edwards. And number 1, I had Cade Cunningham.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's my pick. I picked Cade. I swear to God, I picked was Cade. Yeah,
I think they're going to be in a lot of rock fights, and I think that he has the ability just to get hot at the right times. And this is a small sample size award, so it's really, really random. Like,
it's very hard to correctly guess.
Donovan Mitchell should probably get an honorable mention because he's kind of had seasons where he's nails in the clutch. Yeah. But like. It's just basically who are guys that can catch fire at the right time and who are going to be in enough close games to aura farm for this award and get and also like Cade's a media darling. Brunson was a media darling. Steph's a media darling. Fox is the only one that isn't really that won this award, and he was just on an insane heater that year, and it came down to him versus DeMar, if I remember correctly. And then they ended up being teammates, and that went wonderfully. So, So once again, close games, gotta get hot. People are saying Giannis. I thought about Giannis, but I just don't think Giannis' shooting is good enough. I think in order to be, you have to be a nail shooter to win this award. And all those guys, like Fox just had a crazy shooting season. He actually was like over 50% from mid-range that year, if I remember correctly. I know Giannis just did that, but like teams will be keyed in on stopping Giannis.
Yeah,
there's no one else on that team. Yeah. So that's why I thought about that as I thought about these guys, because they all play for like decent, not great, not like dominant teams that will be running away with games. But they're also able just to get hot at the right times and end up winning their team some games by pulling them out the mud.
Good vamp call. Nembhard as a long shot there is pretty good.
I mean, he did cook in the clutch in the playoffs. I mean, he had that step back in what was that game 2 of the finals where he looked like James Harden.
Yeah, that's another good one. That's a good honorable mention for sure.
Big year for Andrew Nembhard. He's finally going to average over 10 points a game in a season. I'm really excited.
You're so mad about that. You're so mad. He was dog. Sorry, he sacrifices for the team. Trill. I know
something about Canadian guards that just keep owning me. Although I guess I kind of got a little bit of a lick back on Jamal Murray. Well, I probably shouldn't say that considering the Instagram video, but.
Let's go. At the buzzer, Trill with a step back. Real quick before we get out of here. One last time. I want to shout out my dog Aaron Turner. We talk about greatness a lot. You know, we talk about Clutch. We talk about Bartlestein. Aaron Turner is quickly ascending the ranks for me of GOAT agent because Kevin Knox just got another NBA contract today.
Wow. And he just got Kuminga that bag after, and he went on all those podcasts to big up.
He's a star rising. If you Aaron Turner is quickly raising my rank. Kevin Knox is one of the most asked players I've ever seen in my life. He's been asked every season he's been in the NBA, and he's had a 7-year NBA career at this point.
Crazy.
Purely on the strength of Aaron Turner. So shout out to Aaron Turner.
By the way, Quentin Grimes fired David Ballman and hire Aaron Turner immediately based on this information because you need to get away. By the way, I don't know how we don't do executive of the year. There aren't odds on that one. So I guess we've never done it before.
Have we never done it before? Yeah.
Which is weird for this podcast not to do that. But I'm just going to try to think of one off the top of the Nuggets.
I think it's the Knicks. Oh no, that's a good one. Yeah, Nuggets probably.
The Knicks have already won. Leon Rose has already won.
Oh, Leon. Okay, yeah.
The Nuggets.
The Nuggets. Yeah.
The Nuggets did the Cam Johnson trade. They're going to be bouncing back from their weird season. And then they added a bunch of they added Cam Johnson, Bruce Brown, Jonas Valanciunas. They're primed to take like a little bit of it. To me, it's either the Magic or them because they made
the
Rockets, but they lost Fred VanVleet. They were also already the 2 seed last year.
Yeah, that's true.
I think Raphael Stone might have won last year if I remember correctly. So I'll say I'm gonna say I'll give it to the Nuggets, but I could see
Nuggets is a good pick. I think that's the right safe pick. For this award.
Nuggets or Magic front office are probably the safer picks when it comes to this category. But Sam Presti definitely won last year. I was wrong on that. I'm almost certain Sam Presti won. But all right, we hit the 2-hour mark. Sam can go watch the Celtics game now. So I have something to talk with my dad about. I'll watch the Phillies.
Let's go. All right. I'm sorry. The quest for me to talk myself into Hugo Gonzalez starts now.
Let's go. People are going to be absolutely locked in. And next episode on the Patreon, we'll be able to talk about Zach and Bill's over-under because apparently they're recording it.
Let's go. Maybe I'm not going to stream this. I kind of want to just watch the game. I have a hard time. How do you watch the game while you stream? I don't pay good enough attention when we're streaming.
What are you talking about?
When we're watching the game?
I don't pay attention to the game. That's the problem. Is that I just end up talking about I don't know, fucking Kanye's second album with the crowd, and then I get lost in conversation.
I want to stream it, but it's too good. It's too fun.
Lock in. It's preseason. Come on.
Yeah, I gotta lock in. Okay. By the way, Peyton Pritchard not in the starting lineup tonight. Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Sam Hauser getting the start.
Is Pritchard playing?
He's playing, I'm pretty sure. But
all right, well. We'll see.
Grizzlies lineup Javon Small.
I'm ending the stream.
A real player.